With 18 matches and nearly 2 hours of wrestling action, there's a couple things to dive into, so let's do that. I'm Joe Renton with my review of AEW Dark Elevation and AEW Dark. Yeah, I'm back doing this review after I said last week that I might, back off of doing these because there were a couple things that I wanted to talk about, but don't worry, this particular review will not take nearly as long as the previous double reviews. Why? Because outside of a few things, some of the rest of the stuff was just, ugh. But anyway, I want to know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. On Dark Elevation, which is a good place to start because it was the first show. Why start with the second show and work your way backwards? Can't really do that, you silly goose. And why is there a goose in my goddamn room? The goose is loose. It's a goose, you goose. Does he eat goose, you goose? Nobody gets it. Absolutely nobody gets that. Excalibur, Paul White, and Mark Henry on commentary. Dante Martin took on Kevin Matthews, who is a massive individual, and I mean tall. Big lad. Kevin did hit a nice lariat and was fired up. He did some good power stuff. And Dante with a huge splash outside and does a nosedive 1, 2, 3. Not a bad opener. And then we get Thunder Rosa. Wonder if you can guess who I was rooting for. Thunder Rosa against Riley Shepard. So Riley got a couple strikes in, but Thunder Rosa naturally was going to win this one quickly, and she did. Got a big pop in the crowd, and Thunder Rosa chance. How could you not love Thunder Rosa? She is one of the best wrestlers. Easy for me to say, one of the best wrestlers. No, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Man, woman, space alien from the third ring of Saturn. It doesn't matter. She is just really, really goddamn good. Can work with anybody, inexperienced or super experienced. And she hits a wine slam variation. I thought it was going to be the Fire Thunder Driver, but no, it was a variation of a slam and got the victory. Good stuff. And then we get Serpentico with Luther against Zach Clayton. Zach Clayton, who's had a couple good showings against QT Marshall and somebody else that I'm drawing a blank here. I know I've seen him a couple times and he's impressed me. He's got great size. He's the reality Zach Clayton because he's got the reality on his tights. So I assume that's what his nickname is. They got to keep bringing the Zach guy in, and judging by the fact that he actually won and, had a pretty good, face afterwards, he's like, ha, I won. Of course I won. I'm Zach Clayton. The guy's got good sides. He's got good fire. There's something here with this guy. Feature him on these kind of shows and maybe have him on Rampage, bring him along or whatever, as far as on a big stage. Why not utilize some more people that they use in enhancement talent roles? If you got somebody that could be a potential, diamond that you could polish a little bit more, why not? So yeah, he got the victory. That was some pretty good stuff. And Serpentico is a good buy to bounce around because he's that good at selling. So Hobbs with Starks took on Matt Sydal with Lee Moriarty. I have a question considering that they were hyping this up on Dynamite in backstage stuff and Rampage. Why wasn't this at least on Rampage? I don't have a problem with trying to hook people in. Not hook people in, but trying to get people, hooked onto Dark Elevation and Dark. But this seems like with the story they were building, it should have at least been on Rampage. I mean, then maybe some of the matches wouldn't go way too long on Rampage when they shouldn't go that long. Speed versus strength. Hobbs has that great sneer face and has some really good power. We get a referee distraction. We get a bit of messy stuff, but eventually the Torture Rack gets the victory. And I assume we'll see a tag match at some point. Maybe we'll get Hook in there, and make it a 6-man. And maybe Mike Sydal will team up with Matt and he'll take the pin. So we get Men of the Year with Dan Lambert, the Sheepish Lion Dan Lambert. That's Scorpio Sky and Ethan against Jaden Vallo and Steve Pena. I love Scorpio. I don't care about this team. And the Ego's Edge for the victory. There you go. The Acclaimed in 2.0. Alama Garcia took on Dark Order. And it was a typical 8-man match. Though, I just say Dark Order has hasn't beaten me once. And you can't beat me here because it's Black History Month. See, when Caster's not trying to, do some stuff like he did about Simone Biles, Caster's really witty when it comes to this stuff. It was the usual stuff, and we get a twisted ET by Bowens for the victory. It wasn't much of a match. It wasn't terrible. It just blended together. And then we get Destination Unknown, Ruby Soho, along with Anna Jay and Ty Conte against Nyla Rose, the Bunny, and Emi Sakura with Vicky. Vicky does not need to be here at all, in any capacity. The entrances were longer than the goddamn match. This was maybe 4 minutes. And no future kick, 1, 2, 3. So Ruby got the victory. Moving on, AEW Dark had 4 more matches. and was also about, 22 minutes long and will not take nearly as long to cover. Why? Because, well, Excalibur and Taz on commentary. Dasha, we need Dasha doing more ring announcing. Silver and Reynolds with 10 took on 10 was out there, but took on Ari Daivari and Vitkus Cash, who was King Cash on the Washington independent scene and has really improved a lot. This wasn't bad. Silver and Reynolds can work well, and Ari Daivari is pretty good. Cash is quite good. I wouldn't mind them utilizing these guys a little bit more. Once they potentially sign them, they got to, kind of clear some space and everything and figure out the roster, retool, and figure out what they're going to do. Now, the man who ended racism left during Black History Month, what are they going to do without Cody? Not have Brandy on their television show. Thank fuck. Check out my Real Honest Thoughts video if you want to hear what I got to say about that. We get a combo for 3 on Cash. QT with the Factory took on Pat Brink. And anytime QT is out there, I'm on the brink of falling asleep, because QT is a fine athlete, and I don't care one bit. He's a great trainer, too. Don't care about seeing him in the ring anymore. Brink did a few good things. He hit a nice power slam and showed a couple other good power moves, but then cutter 1, 2, 3. Moving on. Max Caster with Bowens taking on Cameron Stewart. And Caster did a rap here and then a rap for Bowens' match. And they got some with the Acclaimed. They do. They're a good team. And even though Cameron tried some stuff, he got hit with the mic drop 1, 2, 3. Tony Nese took on Charlie Bravo. Charlie Bravo now has blonde hair. I don't know why that stuck out to me. Nese with some good heel work. And Bravo hit a few good shots. He's got some good agility. And then pump handle driver variation 1, 2, 3. Del Sol says that he wants to take on Bowens and prove that he will keep fighting. He will keep on fighting. I appreciate Del Sol's optimism. So Emi Sakura took on Angelica Risk. Genuine question. Why is Emi Sakura allowed to wrestle on a U.S. broadcast? Like, I understood at first when she was feuding with Riho. Fine. We don't need her even on a YouTube show. Let her work. Backstage, whatever. She's not very good. I zone out anytime she's in the ring, especially in a singles match. In a tag match, at least you got other people she can, that can take the shine off of the fact that, oh yeah, she's really, really not interesting. So, Angelica did show some promise. Did some nice, did the weird twerking thing in the corner. I don't really get that, but whatever. And Sakura wins. No reaction. 2.0 with Garcia took on the Metro Brothers, who are all about cool. They are basically channeling Deuce and Domino and got hit by a 2 for the show. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Michael Nakazawa taking on Joey Sweet's genuine question, and I know I've said that a lot. Why the fuck is Michael Nakazawa allowed to plague a wrestling ring? Especially one that has had some prestigious people in it. Michael Nakazawa does not deserve, he is not worthy of being in a U.S. wrestling ring. Send him back to like the small Japanese promotions if you want to have him wrestle or whatever. I don't care. He's never been good. He's never been funny. It's fucking stupid. Keep him as Kenny's goddamn, alternate fluffer because Riho's, only got one arm currently. Just have Nakazawa off television. And if you're going to have him on television, don't have him in a goddamn match. Nakazawa won. What the fuck? Why does this matter? Anytime Nakazawa breathes on wrestling television, it's embarrassing to professional wrestling. So, George Joel says, he's gonna look for big things in 2022, and he's got a good look. So then we get, you guessed it, Frankie Kazarian against Luke Sampson, who reminded me of if Roadblock, not end of the line, but Roadblock, the WCW guy, was actually taller and in better shape. Basically, if he stretched out Roadblock. Now, Sampson hit a few decent moves. He didn't really get to do too much because, you guessed it, Frankie Kazarian got the crossface chicken wing for the win. George Joel beat Axel Rico with a pump kick pretty quickly. It wasn't bad. I would like to see more of what George Joel can do. He seems like he's getting better, and he seems like he wants to learn. Got a good look. So Chaos Project took on 5 and 10. Genuine question. Why is Luther still allowed to be in a wrestling ring? He's just not good. I'm sorry. He's not. And whatever. So yeah, full Nelson on Serpentico, because Luther either can't or is incapable of doing any kind of job. And then Bowens took on Del Sol, and the match was fine, and Bowens won with a DDT off the ropes. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. That's 2 hours of action condensed into about 10 minutes. We'll see how these next few weeks go or whatever. I may review this show on occasion. I may continue to review it. I want to continue to support AEW, and try and watch as many of their programs, but some of this stuff is just blasé. You don't need to watch it because it doesn't mean anything. Dynamite and Rampage, maybe watch Elevation because it's shorter, but 11 matches when maybe 6 would have done. Whatever. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.